Hey, what's going on, guys? So a few months ago I created a video showing you how to create a full screen landing page, where the image takes up the full screen no matter how you resize the browser. And I've had a few requests asking how to do that with a video background. And I recently also got a request from someone giving me this link to this Code Academy page asking if I could build a layout like this. Now I'm not going to go through and build this layout right now, at least. Maybe I'll do that in the future, but it did give me a good idea to try and recreate this video background here, because I think this looks pretty nice when they have the video like that, very faint in the background. It's not too in your face. So what I did is I recreated this and it looks something like this. Now the video is different because I would imagine that the video on Code Academy is copywritten in some way. So we're using a different video here, and I actually got this from a site called videvo.net, which has some really nice free stock videos, and you can see this has a 1920 by 1080 resolution. It is an HD video. It's not as nice as the one on Code Academy, but if you want, you can go to like Shutterstock or something like that, and you can actually buy really high quality videos like the one you see here. But we're just going to use this one. I think it's nice, it's pretty good, and it'll do. All right, and if we scroll down, you'll see we have just some other sections here. But if I resize the browser, no matter how I resize it, you'll see that the video is going to take up the full height and the full width. All right, so that's what I'm going to show you guys how to do today. Hopefully you enjoy this video, and let's get started. I want to give a huge shout out to today's sponsor, MailTag. MailTag is a Chrome extension that allows you to track your emails in real time for free. It also lets you track other cool things like link clicks, email reopens, and even the device that was used to open your emails. Be sure to check out MailTag by clicking the link in the description below. Alright guys, so what I have here is I have VS Code open on the left and then my browser on the right. So I have a folder called video_bg. That's where we're going to be building this project. And the first thing I want to do is download the video, okay? And I'm going to put the link in the description. This is a free stock video. And if you go to that link, you can click on free download. And you can see I already have it here, but I'm going to bring it into my folder, which I have in here. Okay, right here, and I'm going to just rename it to something shorter. I'm just going to call this, let's see, we'll call it code.mov. All right, and you can see it popped up over here in my folder. And this is, like I said, this is a really good site for stock videos. If you want something more high quality, you might want to look at like Shutterstock. They have some really nice premium videos that'll run you about $100 a piece or something like that. All right, so now that we have the video downloaded, let's go ahead and create our index.html file, and then we're also going to need a style.css file. All right, so let's start in the index.html. I'm using Emmet, so I'm just going to do exclamation tab. You'll see me doing some shortcuts throughout the video. That's because I'm using Emmet. Emmet comes with VS Code, but if you're using something like Atom or Sublime Text, you'll have to install it separately if you want to use it. All right, I'm also using a extension called Live Server for VS Code, which will allow me to open up my HTML file on my local host. But of course, you don't need this. You can just open up your HTML file anywhere. All right, so let's go ahead and change the title here. We'll just call this video background. And by the way, you might see a bunch of flies flying around me. This time of year is crazy. I don't know about where you guys are, but in Massachusetts right now, flies are just insane. I don't stink or anything, or I'm not dirty. It's just they're everywhere. They're at my wife's work. They're in my car. They're freaking everywhere, and they're really aggravating. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and start up my live server here, and you'll see that we just have a blank page because we haven't actually added anything. So let's start with the markup. Now I'm going to put everything wrapped inside of a header tag. And this header, I'm actually going to give it a class. I'm going to give it a class of v-header. And I'm also going to give it a class of container. Okay, because we want everything to be contained into the middle rather than going all the way across. And I'm talking about the content inside. Now inside the header, we're going to have another div, and I'm going to give this a class of video dash, what did I call it? Hold on. Full screen video wrap. So full screen dash video dash wrap. All right, and then inside here is where we're going to have the actual video. So we'll put a video tag for the source. It's going to be code.mov because that's what I called it. It's also right in the same folder. If it was inside of a subfolder, then I would have to add that here as well. All right, but let's go ahead and save that. And you'll see right away this pops up. Now, these freaking flies. Now this isn't playing. It's not going to play by default using the HTML5 video tag. What you have to do is add in an extra attribute of autoplay. Okay, we're going to set that equal to true. And then I'm also going to set an attribute called loop. And we're going to set that to true as well because we want it to keep playing. We don't want it to just play once and stop. So let's save, and now you'll see it'll automatically start playing when the page reloads. All right, now underneath the full screen video wrap, we're going to have the overlay div. All right, so let's create a div with the class of header dash overlay. Now nothing's going to go in here. This is just, we're going to just style that with CSS. Underneath that, we're going to have the content. So we're going to have a div with the class of header dash content, and then in here we'll have an h1 that'll just say hello everyone, and you can put whatever you want in here. And then underneath that we'll have a paragraph tag. Whoops. We'll have a paragraph tag, and I'm just going to say lorem, what did I do? Lorem 20 tab, and that'll give us just 20 words of dummy text. And then under that we want a button. Okay, it's not actually going to be a button, it's going to be an A tag, and I'm going to give it a class of btn. All right, doesn't matter where it goes. And then for the text we'll just say read more. All right, so let's save that. Now we are going to have those sections underneath, but I'm not going to worry about those just yet. I just want to get the video header part. Now notice the content right now is below everything, but we're going to set it so that it's actually over the video. Okay, but all that's going to be done with CSS. So let's go ahead and link our CSS file. So up in the head we're going to put a link rel equals style sheet, and then the href will equal style.css. Okay, so now let's go to our CSS, and from here first thing I want to do is put in an asterisk because I want everything, all elements should have a box sizing of border box. Okay, because I don't want any issues with margin and padding and width and height. Margin and padding should be included in the width and height for all elements. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and add our body stuff. So for body, let's say we want margin 0. For the font family, let's choose this, I'm going to choose the Sigu UI, and then Tahoma, Geneva, Verdana, Sans Serif. And then let's see, we want the font size. Oh. Font size is going to be 1 rem. Okay, we're going to use rem units for most things in this project. Let's also set the line height. I keep putting a 0 there instead of the space. Line height, we're going to set that to 1.5. And then let's set the color of the text of the body to 333. And finally, let's set overflow. We're going to say overflow -x, which is horizontal. We're going to set that to hidden, okay, just to make sure that there's no horizontal scroll bars. All right, so that should be it for the body. Now we'll do the v header, so class v-header, and for that we're going to set a height of 100 viewport heights. Now I explained this in my, if you've watched my full screen image landing page video, viewport heights and viewport widths, you can basically think of like slices. So no matter how big the browser is, if it's resized or maximized or whatever, think of the height as 100 slices going this way, okay? Now we want this header to fill up all of it, so we want all 100 slices. If we were to say 50 VH, it would fill it up halfway, okay? It would fill up 50 of the 100 viewport heights, okay, or of the slices. So think of it like that, if you've never used VH or VW before. All right, now we also want this to display as a flex box, so we're going to say display flex. We also want to align everything to the center vertically, so for that we can say align items center, and then we're going to set the color of everything to white, since it's going to be over that blue overlay. All right, now if I save this, you'll notice that the text down here is gone. That's because it's now up here, but it's behind the video, okay? But don't worry about that just yet. We're going to fix that with the z-index property later on. All right, so now we want to deal with the container. All right, so the container basically is going to move everything. It's going to move the content into the middle. We're going to add margin auto and so on. So for the container, let's give it a max width. Okay, we don't want to do just a width. We want this to be responsive. So we're going to say max width is going to be 960 pixels. I'm going to add padding left of 1 rem. Padding right will also be 1 rem. And then let's set margin, we'll say margin auto. And I'm also going to set the text align to the center. All right, and we'll save. Now notice the video got pushed over a little bit. We're going to fix that in a second. So the video has a wrap. It has this class right here, Fullscreen video wrap. So we're going to take care of that. Just move this up a little bit, and we'll say Fullscreen dash. I keep putting that 0. I'm trying to find keyboards that are silent, because usually when I'm doing my regular coding I use a mechanical keyboard, but it's too loud for most of you guys. A lot of you guys complain about it. So I'm trying to find the perfect quiet keyboard, and they just all suck. I hate them all. So that's why you see a lot of typos and stuff like that. So let's say Fullscreen video dash wrap. And we're gonna set, and this one has like really small arrow keys, which is kind of screwing me up. But anyway, for that we're gonna say position absolute. Excuse me. So position absolute, we want it to start at the top left, so top 0, left 0. And if I save that, now you'll see that it moved the video up to the very top left. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is make sure that the width is going to be 100%. We're going to make sure that the height is going to be 100 viewport heights, so VH. And then we want to set the overflow to hidden. Okay, we want to make sure that there's no scroll bars. So let's save that. And it doesn't look much different. All right, now for the video itself, we want to make sure that that is always 100% height and width. So let's say, actually I'll just copy this class here, and we want to say the video element inside of that, we want to set the min width to 100%, 100%, whatever, and then min height to 100%. All right. Now for the overlay, which is the blue, the blue overlay that goes over the video, that has a class of header overlay. All right. And for this, we're going to set the height. That's also going to be 100 viewport heights. And we're going to set this to a position of absolute. Okay, same as the full screen video wrap, we're going to set top 0, left 0. We're going to set the width. Actually, I'll put the width right here. The width is actually going to be 100 viewport widths. Okay, so it's going to cover the entire thing. And then we want to set the background color, or we'll just say background, and that's going to be to a hexadecimal value, which is going to be 225470, which is that blue color. All right, now if I go ahead and save this, you'll see that it's actually going to cover the video. Okay, it's positioned absolute, and it has a height and width that's going, you know, all the way across, all the way down. But we want to be able to see the video through it. So we need to add an opacity, but before we do that, I'm just going to add a Z index of 1, just to make sure that it's always going to be on top of the video. All right, the higher the Z index, the closer to you it is. The lower it is, and you can do negative values as well, the more far back it is. So let's set the opacity of this, and you can set this to what you want. I'm going to say 0.85 and save, and now you can see the video playing behind it. Now if you wanted the video to be more clear, you could make this lower, like you could say 6.5, and you can see now the blue is lighter and you can see the video better. But I think that 8.5 is good because we want to be able to clearly see the text that's over it. All right, so now let's talk about the text. Now the text is in the right spot. It's actually here. It's just behind everything. Now remember what I was saying about Z index. What we want to do is say header dash content, which is what has the H1 and all that stuff. Now we want to set that Z index to 2, okay, because that's going to bring it forward. So let's save that, and now we can see it. Okay, it's not behind everything anymore. All right, so now let's style it. We're going to say header content H1, and let's set the font size for that. There we go with the 0 again. Font size, we're going to set that to, let's say, 50 pixels, and then I'm going to set the margin bottom. Let's set the margin bottom to 0 and save, and now we have a bigger header. Now for the paragraph, so we want to say header dash content P. I forgot the dot. So header content P, we're going to set to, let's see, we want the font size to 1.5 rem. And let's set the, I'm just going to set it to display block. And let's set the padding bottom. I'm going to set that to 2 rem. All right, save that. All right, now for the button or the link that has a class of BTN. So for that, we want to set the background. So the background is going to be a hexadecimal, which is going to be 34B 3AO, or not O, 0. And then set the color of it to white. Okay, let's set the font size to 1.2 rem. Let's set the padding. So top and bottom is going to be 1 rem. Left and right will be 2 rem. Okay, and then let's take away the underline with text decoration. Set that to none and save, and there's our button. All right, so that looks pretty good. Now, when this gets smaller, you see how there's not much space here. We only have a padding of 1 rem. What I'm going to do is put a media query down here. So we'll say media, and we're going to set this to have a max width of 960 pixels. So whenever it's under 960 pixels, I want to take the container and I just want to say padding right, set that to 3 rem instead of 1. Same thing with padding left, we'll set that to 3 rem. Excuse me. And save, and now you can see there's a little more room when it's under 960. All right, so I think that's good, yeah, for the header at least. So if I resize this, you can see that it's always going to be 100% of the width and height. All right, so now let's take care of the sections underneath. So we'll go back to our markup. Let's go under the header and we'll put in a section. I'm going to give this section a class of section and also a class of section-A. Okay, and then here we'll put in H1. We'll just say section A, and then underneath it we'll put a paragraph, and I'm going to say lorem 50 tab, which gives us just 50 dummy text. Also, I just want to wrap this in a container. All right, so container, this should be wrapped around all of this. It should be within the section though. All right, and then what I'll do is just copy this whole section, paste it in again, and just change this to section B, the class, and also the text right here to section B. All right, we'll save that, and now no matter what, this is still going to be 100% of the height and width, but if I scroll down, we'll see the sections. All right, so let's go back to our CSS. We just have a couple more things to add. So for the section class, which both of those have, we're just going to add a padding of, what did I do, 20 pixels on the top and bottom, 0 on the left and right. All right, and then for section B, I want that to have a dark background, so we're going to say section B, and we're going to set the background, let's say background to 333, and the color to white, and save, and there we go. Okay, now this video, you'll notice has a quick pause. I don't know if I mentioned that, but when it's done before it loops again, it has like a 2-second pause. If you get a better high quality video, it shouldn't do that. But again, I didn't want to spend $100 on a video just to make this tutorial. So I think that's going to be it, guys. I will probably create a CodePen and put that in the description so you guys can have this code. Feel free to use it in your projects or whatever. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Please leave a like. Please subscribe. Come and join our Discord server. If you want to go to discord.gg/Traversy Media, we have a server where you can come. You can share ideas, and you can get help for any kind of programming and development. We recently added a new channel where you can showcase user projects. We have some really good moderators there, so come and join us. It's absolutely free. It's not only for patrons or anything like that. And that's it. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. So I just want to give another shout out to MailTag, who sponsored this video. MailTag is a free Chrome browser extension that allows you to track your emails in real time. I've been using it myself for about a week now, and I can't recommend it enough. On top of email tracking, MailTag has a bunch of other features like desktop push notifications that alert you when your emails have been opened, link click tracking that shows if people have actually clicked on the links in your email, and a ton of other cool features. Again, all these features are completely free. Be sure to check out MailTag and click that link in the description.